The movie throws us straight into a desperate war against alien invaders called mimics. These creatures have landed all over Europe and are proving unstoppable. Major William Cage, a charming but cowardly PR officer with no combat experience, finds himself unwillingly thrust onto the front lines of a massive, ill-fated offensive. In his very first battle, Cage is killed by an unusually powerful mimic known as a Seeker. However, instead of dying, he wakes up the day before the battle, reliving the same terrifying events. This continues to happen every time he dies, trapping him in a time loop. Initially terrified and confused, Cage repeatedly tries to avoid combat, but his efforts are futile. During one of his many deaths and rebirths, he encounters Sergeant Rita Vrataski, a legendary warrior known as the Angel of Verdun, who also briefly experienced a time loop after a similar encounter with a mimic. Rita recognizes Cage's predicament and, believing he holds the key to defeating the mimics, takes him under her wing. Rita puts Cage through brutal and relentless training, pushing him to his physical and mental limits. With each death and reset, Cage becomes a more skilled and capable fighter. He and Rita work together, using their knowledge of future events to gain an advantage in battles and try to understand the mimic's nature. They learn that the mimics operate as a single hive mind, controlled by a central Omega located deep within their territory. Rita believes that destroying the Omega is the only way to end the war. Their repeated attempts to reach the Omega lead to countless deaths and restarts, each time bringing them closer to their goal. Eventually, they discover the location of the Omega beneath the Rhine River in Germany. In a final daring mission, Cage and Rita infiltrate the mimic stronghold. Rita is severely injured, but Cage manages to reach and destroy the Omega. This time, however, instead of resetting to the previous day, Cage wakes up in a helicopter before the initial invasion of Europe, with news reports stating that the mimic activity has suddenly ceased. It seems that by absorbing the Seeker's power and then destroying the Omega, Cage has somehow reset time to before the mimic invasion even began. He finds Rita alive and well, though she doesn't remember him. A knowing smile passes between them, hinting at the extraordinary bond they forged through countless lives.